Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month in a general focused horoscope, we've got a lot happening and a lot of it involves other people, especially in the early part of the month. It is people who are going to be working overtime to bless you and to raise your sights, to get you to see who it is that you are becoming and who it is that you want to be. It is going to be people, new friendships, new groups, new memberships that are going to be part of advancing your life, advancing your dreams, and creating a measure of greater stability all around thanks to their introduction or thanks to you joining along and forming these very special alliances. The people that you meet now very well could figure into your life for a very long time to come. So this energy is playing out, as I said, in an area of life that has to do with friendships. My advice would be, as I look at this, be social. There's a new moon happening. It's speaking in harmony with Uranus and Saturn, which suggests to me that there will be a luck factor involved, a quick factor involved, and a joy factor, as well as those natural connections that you make when you feel that connection and you nurture just a little bit. Very soon will start creating greater stability in your life. So you are growing, you are changing, and this next step represents a measure of maturity in your bonds with others. And as I said, if there's any kind of group that you've been thinking about joining, wanting to join, this is a great time to do that. You'll find the right support, the right inspiration, and people who really encourage healthy change to take place for you. Those of you who maybe are not thinking so much about joining necessarily like groups, sports, or whatever the case may be, this also can be support groups as well. It needn't necessarily be something professional, though it can be, but this can also be the more emotional kinds of support. And yeah, it can be like a more social atmosphere as well. So whatever it is that calls you, I would say just go out, enjoy life, be amongst other people. And that is one way to start utilizing this energy right away and see where it takes you. As I said, I think it'll take you in ways and in places that are not only fun, but also will add progress, stability, and good luck all around now and for a long time to come. That's Saturn. When Saturn's involved, it stays. And Uranus is there, that good luck will stay as a result of the action you take now. As we move towards the later part of the month, we are going to have a full moon. Now, this full moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with the workplace. And it has to do with your daily habits and rituals, including your health habits as well. So where it comes to the workplace, okay, now this particular full moon is very interesting because it is standing across the sky from Neptune and the Sun, and both speaking with Saturn. So what this says is that this is all about the truth coming out. I've been calling this the truth full moon because that's what's happening here. If there's been any kind of deceptive practices, secrets taking place, you can expect that to come to the surface. If there have been a lot of rumors about that stuff happening where you work, you can expect that to come up for air, if you will, and be considered more widely. This can also be a time when, if anybody is doing things that are not necessarily honest or ethical, and especially if they know it, if they're conscious of it and they're doing it, this is when it very likely can start to feel like, or it very likely can start to be like, it can start to become uncomfortable, and it can start to really come to the surface in very conscious ways. For everybody. There's even an element here, I gotta say, with your coworkers now, if anybody's doing something that, you know, again, they shouldn't be doing, there's almost a getting caught kind of energy with this particular full moon. So you want to be mindful, of course, of yourself. Be very mindful not to get caught up in any kind of gossip. It's going to be very tempting right now to talk about things, and it's better if you play it just a little bit conservative, just a little. And of course, make sure that what you are doing is impeccable. That always is a good thing as well. It's always a good strategy as well. With this particular full moon, I also think, I'm going to put this out there as well, if you are self-employed, if you've got clients coming your way, just be a little bit mindful, especially where it comes to things like accepting payments and how you're accepting payments, because you just want to watch that that all the payment processing is happening in a way that protects you. And there are a million ways to do that, especially if you are self-employed, if you're a merchant of any kind. You know, there's a whole lot of ways to do that. So as an Aries, this becomes that much more important for you. And really, it may end up being nothing. It may end up being just a little misunderstanding. And it might not even mean anything to you in the bigger picture. However, it doesn't hurt to know that you have those merchant protections in place. It's a good time to ensure that you do, or to inquire to make sure that all of that is there. With this particular full moon, as I said, it has to do with daily rituals. It has to do with health also. So when I look at this to me says, because there's an element here of, yes, there's truth, but also with this, there can be, because of that not honest factor that might be there, there can be an element here of misdiagnosis. Okay, so my advice again would be, if you can, just wait. It's only a 2-week stretch of time, a 2-week period. And this 2-week time, it starts the beginning of the last week of the month and goes right into the first week of March. During that time, if there are any tests that need to happen, routine tests, be mindful of that. And maybe if you can, change some dates. That is always helpful. But it's just because of the way that these planets are playing out, as much as there is a truth element to what has already been, if you initiate things now, they can be rather confusing and convoluted, and the results as well. And chances are either they're going to lead to not accurate or results that are hard to understand, right? So you have to do them over anyways. But for all that, you've also got lots of motivation here to take good care of yourself and to take good care of your health with this particular configuration, asking you to get honest with yourself about any habits that are getting in the way of your optimal health now, and also in terms of what you're creating going forward, because it is the small things you do every day that add up towards your state of well-being. And that's what this full moon is going to ask you to pay attention to. Finally, I do want to say this is something I'll be talking about again, and especially as we go along in the weekly horoscopes. Mars this month, late this month, will enter shadow. What that means is that Mars will begin Mars retro season. I'll be here to talk about it again as we go along. There'll be a Mars special video going up soon as well, but this is going to be so important for you, because whenever Mars enters Mars retro season, it starts a very important time for you. On the one hand, there's an extended focus on the particular area of life that Mars is going to speak to. For you, it's going to be finances, and it's also going to be understanding your place in the world and what adventure means to you. And I spoke about this a lot in the 2016 horoscope, annual horoscope for your sign. But it is going to be this move that kicks off officially this month in the later part of the month. So issues that come up in the later part of the month, jot them down. Be mindful, especially where it comes to what matters to you, what motivates you, what drives you. These are the things that you want to be mindful of, and also any kind of financial, especially when you're dealing with financial institutions, loans, grants, bursaries, benefits, insurance payments, that type of thing. Make sure that you're documenting as well, because these issues will be returned to once we move further into the year. What I love about this month for you is that there is a level of honesty that's happening in your daily life, but also an element of inspiration happening with the people now entering. People will be a source of strength, of solace, and solid opportunity to move your life forward in a direction that feels positively inspiring.